I think they have to have over 50% of the vote.
Yes, in order for council to win on August 6th, the candidate has to win 50% plus one vote. Otherwise, it's not going to runoff election for top two candidates.
Just like for the mayor. Sir, you were next.
Yes. Having lived in West Meade for about 38 years, I see helicopters flying around all the time. I love Jimmy's idea about, hey, why can't we be a Belle and Meade? Jim, with your legal and financial, particularly legal, is that possible?
Well, actually, it is. Our metropolitan form of government was created by statute, and we have the power, the citizens of Davidson County, to do anything we want. We can abolish the metropolitan government if we want to by charter amendment. I'm not saying we should do that, although I have thought about it on numerous occasions. We can do anything we want. All you would have to do, or your council member, is put a ballot initiative on and ask that West Meade basically succeed from the city of Davidson County. Now, we'd have to pass it and have to win, but it could absolutely be done. And it could be done if other cities wanted to do it as well. If, let's say, any other group of folks wanted the downtown area or something, they could do it. It's not impossible. It would be fought. I can promise you that the mayor would fight it tooth and nail. But if you want to do that, I'll help you get it on the ballot. It's just that you can do our charter ballot initiative system is wide open. I get calls actually all the time from public interest groups that want to try to do things, pension reform, term limit reform, things like that. And the first thing they say to me, what are your regulations for the charter, for doing charter amendments? There are none. We actually have a wide open system. So if you're interested in it, talk to me afterwards. I'll tell you what you need to do, and you can start gathering signatures.
What is your view on prioritizing the transportation for Nashville?
What are you asking to?
Whoever wants to jump in.
Well, I think you've got to look at what can we have the greatest immediate impact. And I think that goes back to, if you're looking at the larger, strategic plan for RTA, that's not going to be it. You got to have an incremental plan. How can we improve the circulation through downtown and some of our tougher areas like Charlotte going into downtown, or improving the ridership at Charlotte? There's going to be a Charlotte light that's supposed to go in next year if the MTA follows through and is supported by Metro. I think those things incrementally will support improvements, but it is going to be piece by piece. I would suggest, and one of the things we asked the other day to see plan is there a plan for downtown and the area? And we probably need an expert to come in and just look at what it should be, because nobody's looked at it for several years. It's an expensive consultant probably, but hey, incrementally, how do we make ourselves and our lives and our transportation better? There's no answer immediately, but I think there's definitely pieces to it.
I think you should also look at and ask yourself why there's not private alternatives to public transportation. And the reason is because the government makes it illegal. In many cities, if you're in a taxi business, they give you a medallion or certificate, and those are limited. And they may go 50 or 60 or 100 years without increasing the number of taxis. There's an institute called Institute for Justice, a public law firm that sues a lot of these cities to open up these markets. And what you're seeing in Nashville right now is exactly that. The Uber and Lyft systems, if you're familiar with it, it's an application on your smartphone. It is not a transportation company. They don't own any vehicles. Yet you get on there and you push a button and a car shows up, an individual. That is the private system going around the taxi service, which is regulated and limited and confined, and answering a need, which is public transportation. It's actually cheaper in New York City. I was in New York City, a couple of years ago. Half the price to take a limo to the airport than a taxi cab. Thought it was a scam. I couldn't believe it. Why? Because the taxi cabs have a monopoly and the limos were privately run. There is so much that we could do from a private enterprise system. I lived in Devon, Africa many years ago, and they used the jitney systems. Vans that went like down West End, and there'd be a van that went Old Hickory Boulevard. And it would pull over, and you'd get in, and people would just go in and out, 25 cents all the way down West End, get off, 25 cents to go away. And so you could navigate the city 25 cents at a time. Illegal in just about every city in Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. As a former member of the Metro Council, I want to thank all five
This changes daily.
for your presentation this evening. I would be happy to vote for any one of all five of you. And the moderator did a good job. That's another person I want to thank.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank the audience for turning out tonight. This is a great